The Hypocrisy of Camille Robinson-Regis, When Actions Contradict Words, an editorial by Professor Wall Street. In the theater of Trinidad and Tobago politics, few performances are as telling as those that reveal the stark disconnect between what politicians say and what they do. Camille Robinson-Regis's recent statement about never speaking ill of Dr. Rowley or members who chose to support him during past internal P&M contests stands as a masterclass in political amnesia and selective memory. Her claim of maintaining dignity and family unity within the party rings hollow when examined against her documented record of vicious personal attacks and character assassination. Robinson-Regis now presents herself as a beacon of party unity, lamenting that the current internal election has turned into the bashing of people. Yet her own history tells a dramatically different story, one of calculated political warfare disguised as principled opposition. The contradiction between her current plea for civility and her past conduct reveals a politician whose moral compass spins according to political convenience. 10 reasons why Camille Robinson-Regis is hypocritical and disingenuous.
1. The unfit to lead. Contradiction. Robinson-Regis claims she never spoke ill of Dr. Rowley, yet she publicly declared him unfit to lead during a previous internal election. This wasn't constructive criticism about policy differences. It was a fundamental attack on his character and capability. Her assertion that she maintained family unity while simultaneously questioning someone's basic fitness for leadership demonstrates breathtaking hypocrisy.
2. Personal character assassination.
Her description of Dr. Rowley as having an acknowledged arrogance, dictatorial attitude, and being temperamental and unsuited for the role of Prime Minister goes far beyond policy disagreement. These are deeply personal attacks on character traits, exactly the kind of bashing she now condemns. Robinson-Regis cannot credibly claim the moral high ground while having engaged in the very behavior she criticizes.
3. The raging bull insult. Perhaps most damning is her characterization of Dr. Rowley as becoming angry and in defense a raging bull. This animalistic comparison is not the language of someone who respects party unity or treats internal contests as family matters. It's the rhetoric of someone intent on destroying an opponent's reputation through vivid, derogatory imagery. 4. Policy attack hypocrisy.
Robinson-Regis criticized Rowley for having articulated no policies on health escalating crime, income inequality, and rising poverty and youth alienation. Yet in her current statement, she calls for highlighting why one candidate had the better ability to lead, which is precisely what policy discussions accomplish. Her past approach contradicts her current advocacy for constructive campaigning.
5. The Kara Nunes-Teixeira double standard. The vicious attack on Kara Nunes-Teixeira in 2022 reveals Robinson-Regis's true character when dealing with party critics, calling a former colleague clearly narcissistic, seemingly bitter, and telling her to drink water and mind your business demonstrates exactly the kind of personal destruction she now claims to oppose. This wasn't defending party unity, it was character assassination.
6. Team player accusation. Irony. Robinson-Regis accused Dr. Rowley of being unable to be a team player while simultaneously launching a coordinated character assassination campaign against him. The irony is palpable. She attacked him for not being collaborative while engaging in the most divisive possible behavior, public personal attacks on a party colleague. 7. The disciplinary contradiction. She criticized Rowley's relationship with strict internal discipline while herself violating every norm of internal party respect through her public attacks. Robinson-Regis demonstrated that her version of party discipline meant conformity to her preferred leadership, not mutual respect among party members.
8. Selective memory about internal elections. Her romantic recollection of giving Dr. Rowley a Rottweiler puppy during the Manning-Rowley contest conveniently omits her documented harsh criticism of his character and fitness. This selective storytelling reveals someone who rewrites history to suit current political needs rather than acknowledging past behavior. 9. The unity paradox.
Robinson-Regis now calls for unity while having spent years undermining it through personal attacks. Her 2022 assault on Nunes Teixeira came not during an internal election, but during a period when party unity should have been paramount. This reveals that her destructive behavior isn't limited to campaign periods but represents a consistent pattern. 10. Moral authority deficit.
Perhaps most fundamentally, Robinson-Regis lacks the moral authority to lecture others about party unity and respectful discourse. Her documented history of personal attacks, character assassination, and vindictive language toward party colleagues disqualifies her from credibly advocating for the very standards she has repeatedly violated. The pattern of political opportunism.
Robinson-Regis's transformation from attack dog to unity advocate reveals a politician whose principles shift with political necessity. When she needed to tear down Dr. Rowley, she deployed the most personal and vicious rhetoric. When she needed to defend the PNM establishment against Karen Nunes Teixeira's criticisms, she resorted to personal insults and dismissive language. Now, when she presumably benefits from calls for unity and respectful discourse, she presents herself as having always maintained these standards. This pattern suggests that Robinson-Regis's political positions are driven not by consistent principles, but by strategic calculations about what serves her interests at any given moment. Her current plea for party unity rings hollow because it comes from someone who has repeatedly shattered that unity when it suited her purposes.
The danger of political amnesia. Robinson-Regis's selective memory about her own conduct represents a broader problem in Caribbean politics. The assumption that voters and party members will forget past behavior when it becomes inconvenient. Her attempt to rewrite her own history of divisive rhetoric while condemning others for the same behavior insults the intelligence of PNM members and the broader public.
Political accountability requires that leaders be held responsible for their past actions and statements. When politicians like Robinson-Regis attempt to escape this accountability through historical revisionism, they undermine the very democratic norms they claim to champion.
In conclusion, the credibility crisis. Camille Robinson-Regis's current stance on party unity and respectful discourse might be admirable if it represented genuine growth and reflection. However, her attempt to portray herself as having always maintained these standards while simultaneously denying her documented history of destructive behavior reveals not growth but opportunism. The PNM membership deserves leaders who demonstrate consistency between their stated values and their actions, not politicians who reinvent their histories to suit current political needs. Robinson-Regis's credibility crisis stems not just from her past behavior,
but from her current refusal to acknowledge and account for it.
True leadership requires the courage to admit past mistakes and demonstrate genuine change. Instead, Robinson-Regis offers political amnesia disguised as moral authority. The party and the country deserve better than leaders who ask voters to forget what they themselves refuse to acknowledge.